Hi, everybody. It's me again. This is the children's moment for April 28th, 2024. Glad to see you guys again. So, do you have pets? How many of you have pets? A bunch. Yep, we do too. So, we have, let's see, right now we have 3 dogs and 1 grumpy old cat. Miss Pam has a whole coop full of chickens. I think there's 7 chickens out there right now. And that's about it. But growing up, we had all sorts of pets, and we had horses and dogs and cats. And my dad used to raise hunting dogs, so we always had a bunch of dogs around. And we lived on a creek, and so I could always find all sorts of things in the creek. And I had pet turtles, and I had pet snakes, and I'd catch them in the creek, and I'd keep them for just a few days, and then turn them loose again. The coolest pet I ever had, maybe, was my uncle in California caught a tarantula and brought it to me on the airplane. They let him fly with it on the airplane, and he brought it to me. And I had old Herbert the tarantula, for a long time. Herbert finally died of old age, but he was a cool pet, and he was a real gentle spider, which is what you don't normally think about. But he was a cool guy. Anyway, so what do you do when you have pets? You feed them, right? Of course. You take care of them. You love on them. You groom them sometimes. You take them to the doctor when they don't feel good. You make sure that they have the shots to keep them from getting rabies or worms or anything else. So, taking care of your pets is an important thing, and there's a lot to it. It's not just feeding them. You have to take care of them, but it makes it easy because they love on you so much, and you want to take care of them. So last week, Pastor Chris read to us from the book of John, and this was after Christ's resurrection, and he found the disciples out fishing. And so he told them where to put their nets down. They caught a whole bunch of fish, and then when they came into shore, he fixed breakfast for them. He cooked up some of the fish and fixed breakfast for them. And so they were sitting around visiting after they had breakfast. And Jesus looked at Peter and said, "Peter, do you love me?" And Peter said, "Well, yeah." And he said, "Okay, feed my sheep." And so then he asked him again. And then he asked him again. And all 3 times, Peter said, "Well, of course I do." And Jesus said, "Feed my sheep." Now, what do you think Jesus is talking about when he says that? I don't know that it was necessarily real sheep. I think Jesus was talking about, this is Tommy's opinion. Pastor Chris may tell us something different, but Jesus was telling us to take care of his flock. And who is his flock? All of us. We're all part of Jesus' flock. And I think that's what he was telling Peter, was to be sure and care for the followers of Christ. And I don't want to just limit that to the people that are now followers of Christ. I think it's important that we realize that Christ means everybody, because there's a lot of people that don't know about Christ, and they find out about Christ through us and through our actions and through our feeding of the flock. So now, what does feeding mean? So feeding means sometimes literally feeding. I mean, it means food. So think about how our church does that. What does our church do? We've got the Wednesday night meal that we do for the community. Mr. Mike and his crew, commonly will feed 200 people, or at least prepare 200 meals, or 200 plus meals. So that's a big way of feeding the flock. We have the children's table that goes out all summer long, twice a week, and during every school holiday it goes out and literally feeds children out in the county, but also does other things. They deliver books and deliver also other things that they might need during the year. So we literally feed the flock like that. But what else do we do? How else would our church take care of a flock? Well, we support lots of local ministry, and through those ministries, we're able to help a lot of people in the community. Sometimes we do that very quietly. It's something that we don't know, that maybe a lot of people don't know about, but we really support a lot of the ministries in the community for people at need that need some help. And we have the more obvious method of loving everybody and praying for them. We do that, and sometimes that's a quiet thing that we do, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a very public thing that we do, and we invite people to church with us and invite them to come to vacation Bible school with us, and sometimes that is the way that we feed the flock. So think about how you do that. Think about what you do personally to feed the flock. Sometimes you may be doing it without even knowing that you're doing it. If you're singing in the children's choir at church, or attending vacation Bible school, or inviting your friends to come with you to church, or if you're just being friendly to somebody, if you just give somebody a hug that needs it, old person or young person. Sometimes old people need hugs too. So talk to your adult about that. Talk to him about how you feed Jesus' flock. What each of us do, but think about what you do to feed Jesus' flock. Okay, I love you guys. Keep feeding the flock. Take care of your animals. I love you. See you soon. Bye.